Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Imagine gaining the leadership skills that could redefine your career. Join Coach BZ on the Leadership and Success Podcast, where each episode delivers practical insights from world-class speakers, military leaders, and industry experts. We dive deep into what matters most: building resilient teams, leading through uncertainty, and navigating complexity with clarity and confidence. Every conversation is crafted for aspiring leaders like you who are ready to grow, lead, and make a lasting impact. Don't miss our powerful live sessions and recent highlights. Michelle Hayward on building diverse, high-performing technical teams. Ann Leslie on leading through global complexity and cybersecurity risk. Ron Carpenter AI exploring faith, resilience, and AI-powered leadership. Colonel Michelle G.I. Gardner-Ince on commanding influence from the battlefield to the boardroom. Chris Robinson on shifting from drift to drive in life and leadership. And Coach Enrique Acosta Gonzalez on mentorship, legacy, and heart-centered leadership. Ready to level up your leadership journey? Tune in on Spotify, Apple, Audible Podcasts, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. Join the movement toward leadership excellence. Listen now and start transforming your success. What if your next keynote speaker could bridge the worlds of national defense, Silicon Valley innovation, and global leadership? Meet Bob Fabian, BZ Zinga, award-winning keynote speaker, U.S. Navy Information Warfare Commander, and trusted executive in technology, leadership, and strategy. With over 20 years of proven leadership in the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Navy, higher education, and the high-tech sector, from startups to Fortune 500 companies, BZ delivers keynote experiences that inspire, challenge, and equip leaders for real-world impact. BZ speaks with authority on cybersecurity and national security, strategies to safeguard critical assets in an age of constant threat, artificial intelligence and emerging technology, how to innovate responsibly while staying ahead of disruption, leadership and corporate governance, building resilient, ethical, and high-performance organizations in any environment. Every keynote blends military precision, Silicon Valley agility, and boardroom strategy, delivering practical takeaways that leaders can apply immediately. Audiences leave inspired, informed, and ready to lead with clarity and courage. Whether you're hosting a global conference, corporate summit, or leadership retreat, book BZ to energize your event and empower your audience to lead in a rapidly changing world.
Hello, everybody. This is Coach Busy. First of all, sorry, this podcast started a little bit late. I was having some technical difficulties. Anyway, it's all resolved now, so we should be live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And thanks so much for being with me today. Today will be pretty short. It's going to be a 10-minute summary of the great podcast I've had with Dr. Barry Poe. And I hope you guys have seen the podcast. Here is the cover. It was for season 4, episode 58. And I urge everybody to follow him, linkedin.com/Barry-Poe. All right, so The reason why I do this podcast is to really help people who don't have a full hour to listen to our leadership conversation so they can really get the essential of what we talked about. So before we get there, let's do our daily routine. I want to take less than a minute just to be grateful for something. So if you are up to it, if you can close your eyes and put yourself in your happiest of places where you feel confident, you feel like your life has a purpose, and you are grateful for being alive, for being in this moment, in the present right now. And then think about one thing you are grateful for today. For me today, I am grateful for my wife, Dimitria Zinga. My life wouldn't be the same without her. So if you can type it in the comment section, whatever you are grateful for, and share with the community, I would very much appreciate that. All right, so that was our moment of gratitude. So now I am going to give you the summary for Dr. Paul. But actually, before I do, I also want to remind you guys, I just added a post this morning about Darren Daly. Uh, Darren Hardy is one of my primary mentors. He's been mentoring me for almost 20 years now. He used to be the publisher for the magazine, Success Magazine. He pretty much brought it from the dead and made it a very, very successful magazine. So he's been talking to the most brilliant leaders, no? Leaders of Fortune 100 company like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, John Maxwell. I mean, anybody who's anyone in business is talk to them. And by talking to so many very successful people, he was able to really get to the essential of leadership and success, right? And now he gives it back to the community by every single day. It's less than five minutes, 3 to 5 minutes video every single day to inspire you and get you ready for the day. So I would like for all of you guys to please subscribe bit.ly/Darren Daily Busy, and you are going to get his email every morning. I get mine around 5:30 a.m. every morning, right before I get up, and that's the first thing I do. I watch his video, and I'm ready for the day. So I would like to encourage all of you guys to do it. All right, I'm gonna get my AI agent now to go ahead and start the summary podcast. And if you have a question for me, please type it in the comment, and I'm going to make sure to get to it by the end of the podcast. And if not today, I will get to it tomorrow. And also let us know where you are coming from, what city, what state, and if you're outside of the US, what country. And I also would appreciate it if you can let somebody know, tag someone you think might benefit from this podcast, and also like the event, and then go ahead and repost it in your feed so that we can have a greater reach. So I very, very much appreciate that. All right, my AI agent are going to give us the 10-minute summary from the wonderful leadership conversation we had with Dr. Barry Poe, Season 4, Episode 58 this week. Here we go.
Welcome to the conversation where we're diving into how innovation translates into leadership clarity. It's like really at the crossroads of technology, business, and human intent. This is where leaders learn to ask the right questions, right?
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see how our guest, whose journey spans from Nokia to HSBC and beyond, has reshaped leadership into something both innovative and deeply human. So, where do you want to start?
Let's kick off with gratitude and the human side, something our guest really emphasized. He talked about how gratitude builds resilience, especially for those who've faced intense challenges, like military officers.
Right.
It's like your inner compass, don't you think?
I do. And I think it's really compelling how he brought personal passions, like music, into the conversation. Music for him isn't just a hobby, it's a way to maintain balance and navigate life's ups and downs.
Yeah.
That really humanizes leadership, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. It's like leadership isn't just about big decisions. It's also about those personal anchors that keep us grounded. And speaking of balance, travel was another big theme. Travel as a leadership teacher really opened up his worldview.
True, travel exposes you to different cultures and ways of thinking, reminding us that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Every culture, every team offers a lesson.
Right.
It forces you to step outside your bubble and learn adaptability.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the whole aspect of ecosystems. The idea that leadership isn't just about delivering a product, but about building an ecosystem where team members, partners, and customers all thrive. It reminds me of his Nokia days, where it wasn't just hardware, it was this entire platform.
I love that. But here's a thought. While ecosystems are critical, do you think there's sometimes too much focus on technological innovation over aligning teams on shared purpose? I
Yeah,
mean, what do you think?
that's a fair challenge. I mean, he really drives the point that without alignment, even the most innovative ideas can create chaos. It's like having a supercharged engine without a clear roadmap. And he stresses that alignment is what turns initiative into actual progress.
Right, and that ties directly into how he discussed digital transformation at HSBC. It's not about the latest tech for its own sake, but about people and intent. You know, the human element really is the decisive edge.
Absolutely. It seems that digital transformation really for him is a people centric journey. Tools can be impressive, but without mindset, training, and shared purpose, they're just tools.
Correct.
It's a balance that many leaders struggle with.
And that brings us to one of his most striking insights. Intelligence is about finding the right answer. Wisdom is about asking the right questions.
Yep,
It's a powerful reminder that, for instance, in AI, the focus shouldn't be solely on optimization, but on ethical, sustainable decision making.
right. It's like you can have all the data in the world, but if you're not asking why that data exists or what good it's supposed to achieve, you're missing the point. That's where leadership becomes transformational.
Exactly. And speaking of transformation, we also got into something he termed the execution gap. You know, that space between vision and reality. Did you catch his three key questions?
Oh, yes, those are the ones that really hit home. What are the measurable outcomes? How do we know we've succeeded? And who needs to be aligned? I mean, it's such a crisp way to ensure leadership doesn't just remain a lofty idea.
Yeah,
It literally bridges the gap between ideas and results.
for sure. And this focus on measurable outcomes is something every executive can appreciate. But what do you think about his argument on managing versus leading?
Ah, yes, that was a classic distinction he laid out. Management is doing things the right way, leadership is doing the right things.
Yeah,
I think that really sums up the challenge. Without leadership, teams might be efficient, but without management, they're lacking direction.
I agree, but I wonder if sometimes the line between the two blurs, especially in fast paced tech environments. Leaders need to manage, and managers often end up leading. What's your take?
It definitely does blur, but I think his point was more about balance. A ship can't sail without both a capable crew handling the mechanics and a visionary captain steering the course.
Absolutely.
It's all about ensuring that while tools evolve, the human components of judgment remain central.
That's a great analogy. And speaking of evolving tools, his insights on preparing for agentic and autonomous AI stood out. It wasn't just about implementing AI, it was about training teams to use it wisely.
Yep.
It's like teaching people not just the how, but the when and why.
Right, exactly. It's a call for upskilling and problem definition mastery. The danger he pointed out was leadership on autopilot. It reminds you that outsourcing judgment entirely to machines can lead to unforeseen risks. The human touch still matters a lot.
Yeah, and I think that really ties into his call to action. Bring your human clarity. It speaks volumes about how, regardless of technological advances, it's still the human clarity of vision and purpose that ultimately drives success.
Totally. It's almost like we're reminded that technology should be our partner, our strategic engine, not the
Right.
driver. And the clarity of our mission makes that difference.
And on that note, he also presented some coaching prompts that challenge leaders to reflect on what really anchors them, be it hobbies, faith, or family. I find that really encouraging because it's so often overlooked in the pursuit of professional success. What are your thoughts?
I think those prompts are vital. When you think about it, being anchored by personal passions makes you resilient under pressure. It's like having your own built in support system, right?
Yep,
And it allows leaders to face challenges with a calm clarity.
absolutely. And he didn't stop there. He also explored leadership gaps in the next generation: commitment, resilience, and curiosity. It's a reminder that even established leaders need to cultivate these qualities continuously. It's all part of the lifelong journey.
Yes, and those gaps are critical. He stressed that starting a mission is only part of the job. Finishing with excellence is what truly
Right.
counts. Sometimes leaders get so caught up in the spark of innovation that they forget about follow through.
I think that's why his insights on execution gap are so practical. Bridging that gap means having clarity in how progress is measured and ensuring the right people are aligned. Otherwise, magnificent ideas can, unfortunately, fail to take flight.
Right, exactly. And this clarity of outcomes ties back to the core message of his podcast. Leadership in an AI driven world still has to be about clear, intentional human judgment. That's something we all need to remember.
Now, let's talk briefly about the coaching prompts he provided. They're not just ideas, they're practical tools. For instance, asking leaders to reflect on whether they're managing processes or truly leading people. It
Definitely.
offers a tangible route for self reflection.
True. It almost feels like his message was be intentional about how you lead. Whether it's your team's mission, the cultural ecosystem you nurture, or the strategic choices regarding technology, clarity is the
Exactly.
guiding star. And it's a powerful way to navigate the future.
Speaking of the future, his caution about leadership on autopilot is really a wake up call. With autonomous AI becoming more prevalent, the risk is not just over reliance, but also a potential loss of critical human judgment. It's a reminder to always balance technological aid with human oversight.
Yes, that's the crux of it. Preparing for an AI enabled future isn't just about ensuring your systems work, it's about upskilling your people. Leaders need to be immersed in the when and why, rather than simply leveraging the what of technology. It's like making sure every tool in your
Right
kit is
on.
used with purpose.
Exactly. And then there's the inspiring note about mentors and influences like Simon Sinek, Alan Kay, and even Chris Hadfield, reminding us that intentionality and attention to detail can set the stage for true leadership excellence.
Absolutely.
Each of those voices adds another layer to the narrative of being a thoughtful leader.
Yeah, it really unifies the message. Lead with human clarity, balance management with leadership, and always question as much as you search for answers. And that, at its heart, is what empowers both military and tech leaders alike.
It's a holistic approach, considering not just what technology does, but what it should do in service of human values. It's a call to lead with courage, humility, and
Right.
resilience, and to always ask if your team's mission is clearly articulated.
Exactly. And, as he so succinctly put it, bring your human clarity. It's a simple phrase, but it encapsulates the need to remain intentional in every decision, from tech adoption to everyday leadership moves.
Definitely,
It's like a mantra for the modern leader.
I couldn't agree more. And wrapping it up, the final call to action is, in essence, an invitation for everyone, especially in military and tech sectors, to re examine their mission with fresh eyes. It urges leaders to ask those tough, introspective questions before moving forward. It's
Right.
transformative if you think about it. Clarity plus courage equals progress.
Well said. It really comes down to balancing technology and human insight, making sure that every decision is backed by clear intent and
Yep.
measurable outcomes. It's this blend of innovation and integrity that will shape the future of leadership.
Agreed. So, for anyone out there leading teams in an AI enabled world, remember, your human clarity is your competitive advantage. Keep questioning, keep aligning, and above all, lead with purpose. Thanks for such an invigorating discussion.
Thank you. Let's keep pushing boundaries and embracing the intersection of innovation and leadership every day. Till next time.
All right, this is Coach Busy. I am back. Thank you so much for watching the 10-minute um, summary of the lesson I have had. Let me share my screen here for just a second. Okay, so now you should see. Okay, all right. You should see on the screen now. This is the article I wrote, Translating Innovation into Clarity and Leadership. Please take the time to read the article and go through it, and also follow Dr. Barry Poe. And again, his LinkedIn address, Barry-Poe. And if you connected with him, please make sure to endorse him for all of his skill. Let me do that now. And also write a letter of recommendation on his LinkedIn profile, and also go to his business, brilliant site. Is the president and founder of that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play a couple of podcast teasers, like 1 to 2 minute clips from the hour-long conversation we've had. And again, the idea is for you to listen to the clips and then want to go listen to the entire conversation we've had. It's available here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Spotify, and everywhere, all major podcast platform.
I'm just thoughtful because like I'm just running through like all these people that have kind of shaped and molded my own career. I think I would love to have dinner with Bill Gates one day. I think he's been very thoughtful and obviously transformational in his own way, something that's been super important to me. I would love to, and you saw the Alan Kay quote. I think Alan has also been incredibly important in the field of computer science in that way.
Yes.
I have a love of motorsport. I have a love of Formula One. I would love to have dinner with someone like Lewis Hamilton one day.
Fantastic. No, that is great. All right. So leaders are readers, right? What books are you reading right now?
Well, there are a few that I am reading right now, and in fact, have just recently finished reading. Ray Kurzweil, he's a futurist. He's written a series of books actually, and this is probably the latest one. The Singularity is Nearer, and he really talks about this. Is, by the way, he's got like a whole series of books. It started with like the Age of the Intelligent Machine, and they had another one called the Age of the Spiritual Machine, and he's kind of had this whole series. But he talks about really the current state of the future. Yes. And even more importantly, he charts out the reasons why the future, while we can't necessarily predict it, there are ways that we can prepare for it. And that despite what we think about the way the world might turn out, we really can't imagine what the world will be like. And so this is kind of his attempt at doing that. Super important book from that perspective. There's another book that I recently read from Karen Howe. She's doing a book tour right now called The Empire of AI. Fascinating look. If anyone really wants to understand, what's embedded in the hype cycle that makes AI so prevalent in the news, that's a really good and sharp insight into it. Maybe a third book, Adam Higginbotham, he wrote a book on the Challenger incident that I read not too long ago. Very insightful, and actually like for anybody who's interested in leadership as a technical engineer, it's a wonderful book because it's a reminder that despite organizations having had success, you can't.
Well, now there is something that you do that is very important here on the Leadership and Success podcast. We really love to focus on the aspirational, the next generation leader in both the military and tech. Those are two words that I know very well. So you are a mentor, founder at Futurepreneur Canada, MBA candidate at HSBC Sauder School of Business. So what leadership gaps do you see most often in the next generation?
Good question. A few things that I see. I think one is commitment. I think that is sometimes a gap. Sometimes people come in and they're curious, or they've got great ideas and want to start things. Commitment is not just about starting things; it's about seeing them through to completion. And commitment as well is not about doing things half-heartedly. It's also about committing to them fully. When you commit to doing something, you're going to put your all. You might not always agree with it, but you're going to do it because you're committed to it. I think that that's important. That's an important skill for any leader. Resilience. I sometimes come across entrepreneurs who love the idea. They love the idea of being an entrepreneur. But along with it has to come the recognition that some things do take time, that not all results are instant, and that commitment and that ability to persevere, despite the fact that there are challenges and maybe you don't know how those challenges are going to work out. Those are
Yes.
important qualities as a leader. The last thing maybe I'd share there is curiosity. I think curiosity is an important skill that maybe we don't always encourage. And we were talking about decisiveness a moment ago. I think, alongside being decisive, the quality of being curious is what often
Yes.
allows you to maybe discover the problems that are worth solving, and then also to look for inventive solutions, maybe things that aren't immediately obvious.
Well, that is great. Now, a significant portion of my audience are junior military officers and aspiring tech and cyber security engineer. What type of advice would you give them into transitioning into a leadership role today?
A couple of things that are really important, and I share this because, as we were talking about a moment ago, transformation is more about people and intent than it is about technology. One thing I would always encourage leaders to do, like, master the art of problem definition, like define problems and learn how to define them. As you were just saying a moment ago, there are obviously problems that sometimes people commit to solving. They don't know why it's important or even if it's worth solving. Mastering that's an art. That's not a science. Problems don't just automatically reveal themselves. You have to discover them. The other thing that I might say there is that, especially when you're talking about AI, investing in upskilling, not just technology, that's also an important thing. Upskilling people. And this is about teaching people not just about AI and how to write the right prompts, which I think you'll see lots of guides around. It's about cultivating the wisdom about when to apply the tool, to really understand the limitations of the tool, and to know in what way can AI be a partner to the
Yes.
person who's seeking the help.
Wow. That is powerful. Just a minute ago, you also made me think of what one of my mentors told me, Brian Tracy, right? Kind of measure twice and cut once. He
Yep.
says, right, a minute in planning will save you at least 10 minutes in execution. And I've always taken that to heart. No, and like, even in cyber, we say, what, think before you click, what, think before you download and send. So it's always good to take a pause and think, strategize, and then massive execution, like Tony Rodben says. But what role should ethics and human intent play then in AI deployment?
Yeah, ethics is such a big part of the conversation around AI right now, and actually, I think a lot of people talk about trust and ethics and responsible AI all in one breath. I think, in a way, ethics is more than just playing a role. Like, they're the foundation of a proper AI implementation. I think it's easy to maybe.
All right, thanks so much. These were a couple of teasers from the hour-long podcast. Please go ahead and watch the full podcast. Again, this was season 4, episode 28, right? I mean, 58, and it should be available on all major podcast platforms out there. Thank you for being with me here today. And again, I want to remind you to subscribe for free, Darren Daily, on demand. So bit.ly/Darren Daily BZ. And Darren Daily is going to be sending you email every morning to encourage you, to inspire you, and get you to get better every single day. So, excuse me. I don't see any questions on LinkedIn. Let me check YouTube. I don't see any question on YouTube either. So this is it for today. I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking. Let me show you. Uh, yeah, tomorrow will be pretty cool. General Binham had a great interview, And tomorrow I'm gonna give you like a 10-minute summary of the interview she had, and she talks about her history, what she went through. You know, she's black, she's a woman, and she was a three-star general in the U.S. Army, recently retired and transitioned into civilian life now. And there is so much we can learn from living legends like her. So I hope you are here with me tomorrow. I'm gonna be at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, California, so 9:30 a.m. Washington D.C. time. All right. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful weekend. Bye. Bye, everybody. This is Coach Busy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach